we want to bring in an expert, get the expert opinion on what this means for folks in the area. So Ty Higgins joining us now from the Ohio Farm Bureau. And Ty, thank you for joining us first of all. But what kind of impact does a weather event of this magnitude have on the farming and agriculture community, especially with so much crop damage?
Well, we were in a peak part of the growing season all across the Midwest. And to be honest with you, we've had a lot of bad news in agriculture. COVID-19 has made the price of corn and soybeans and about every other commodity we grow in the U.S. drop considerably over the last 4 months. We've had trouble with global trade, being that it's a global pandemic. Things just haven't gone the farmers' way. This is the last thing those farmers in Iowa and Illinois need. And to be quite honest with you, when prices are low, the only thing that's really going to save you is a good crop. And what was blown over earlier this week wasn't a good crop. It was a great crop. Things were looking really good all across the Hawkeye State and into Illinois. And corn's going about $3.25 a bushel, $3.25. So the overall economic impact could be as high as $3.2 billion if we can't salvage some of the crop that was destroyed.
Okay, that's unfortunate news. And I know sometimes early in the year, if we see some high magnitude weather events or some crops are damaged, farmers may have some time to recover. But about a month away from harvest, is there any time left for these farmers to make up any of the ground that they just lost with the crop damage?
Well, all you can really hope is that the crop wasn't completely damaged. So you can see corn like this, and we have with heavy storms in localized situations where corn will look like it does flatten these fields, and it'll start to perk up just a little bit, get towards the sun, and maybe recover. If it didn't snap directly in two, the nutrients are still going to get to the ear of the corn, and they're still going to be able to produce some sort of crop. With that said, we still had a lot of meat on the bone for this crop to make its full potential. It probably got about 50% there. So we're not going to see nearly the yields through the area that was through this destruction zone to what they could be, and literally could be just about half. But the other obstacle is that corn is not going to get right back straight up. And so when we get into harvest that corn, it's going to take maybe 2-3 times longer than it normally would. There's going to have to be a lot of patience practiced as farmers get out and get this corn crop here in about 4 to 6 weeks.
This seems like a rather large damaging wind event. Do farmers and folks who grow crops like this, do they have any sort of protection, any sort of insurance that they may be able to rely on? Or is this something that, maybe the government has to pitch in on?
Well, that's one great thing about farmers. About 80 to 85% of farmers across the country do have crop insurance. And so if it is a complete loss or a half loss, they might be able to file those claims. They pay dearly for that insurance, like you and I pay for car insurance or home insurance. And obviously that will help them in order to maintain their operation and hopefully farm again next year, but it will not make them whole. It's not something you get your entire profit potential back. It's an insurance policy, and so it won't make the farmer whole, but it'll hopefully help them get back into the field in the spring of next year.
Is there anything that folks at home can do, that consumers can do, to maybe help these farmers or help the agriculture industry recover from events like this?
Well, I think more than anything, thoughts and prayers. There's so many people, 98% of our population has been removed from the farm for a generation or more. And so a lot of people don't understand what goes into agriculture and putting food on our table. But I just hope they appreciate what farmers go through. And farmers don't make the news until something like this happens. It's unfortunate. But just know that farmers are working hard every day on your behalf. And there's a reason we have a safe, affordable, and abundant food supply in the U.S. It's because of the American farmer, and they have seen rough times. They're used to tragedies and having hard times year in and year out. This is just one more challenge they'll have to get through, but they will. They're resilient and they're optimistic, and they'll continue to do what they know how to do, and that's farm and raise their family on that farm and continue to grow food for our country.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ty. We'll keep the farmers and all those folks out there who are working hard for us in our thoughts in the days ahead, and hopefully the weather can cooperate a little bit better for those folks coming up in the next couple of months.